What does how many sexual partners someone had before you have to do with you being able to be considered a trophy wife or wifey material?
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patson, and today we're going to be taking a look at a video by Lana Rhoades. If you're not familiar with who this lady is, well, she is a rather famous pornographic actress. And no, we are not watching a scene that she's performing in, but rather a video that she posted on a YouTube channel. Unfortunately, the entire video has already been deleted, but I did manage to find some clips. And it's about Miss Rhodes and two other ladies talking about being a trophy wife and their body counts, and finally proving to us that most modern women knows jack shit about what a guy truly wants in a relationship. Let's begin.
I had a friend who was dating like a beautiful girl, a really hot model that like she's just a gorgeous girl, drop dead gorgeous. Every guy in LA would love to date her. And he would say that he couldn't be with her because she's had too many sexual partners and he only dated her because he wanted a trophy wife or a girlfriend.
Wait, why does that sound like I know that person?
Okay, don't throw any shade here.
Oh, I have no
I
idea.
wanted to stay completely anonymous, but he said that. And so what does how many sexual partners someone had before you have to do with you being able to be considered a trophy wife or wifey material?
A lot, actually. Let's compare this to buying a used car. When you're shopping around and you saw a car that you really like and it has a relatively decent price for a recent make and model, but when you go and check it out, you discovered that it had 15 different owners and has over 300,000 miles. So, what will be our educated guess in that situation? Despite having a somewhat decent exterior, there's probably a lot of underlying issues, and you will have to invest a lot of time and resources to get it into decent running condition. And even with that, there is a good chance that it will break down because there's already so much mileage on the car. And we don't know exactly how those 15 previous owners took care of the said car, if they even cared for it at all. Unless you're really desperate, no sane person would take that deal, especially if there's another car out there that is similar in looks and in price, but only has 15,000 miles and one previous owner. Which would you choose?
I mean, I personally don't agree. I think a trophy wife is someone that is, you don't have to be a certain standard looks or even, I mean, obviously brains as well, but I think it's how you treat that person and you would want to, you want to be with someone and how they treat you and how good they are for you, not because of how they look. So you can still be a trophy wife and not be a model type or be the smartest, but you're a supportive, loving girlfriend.
I completely disagree. Let's do a quick search on what a trophy wife actually means. A trophy wife is a wife who is regarded as a status symbol for the husband, implying that the wife in question has little personal merit besides her physical attractiveness. So, based on Wikipedia, she's dead wrong. This is what they do, gentlemen. They change the definition just to suit their needs. Sometimes they outright lie. Of course, not all women do this. Definitely. What's sad is the rate women like these three are appearing, constantly lying, gaslighting, guilt-tripping, and brainwashing men to not care or call them out on their dumb behavior. Truth is, your body count does matter because if you can't hold down a relationship, constantly changing partners, then the problem is probably you, more particularly your choices in partners. Far often than not, women are the one choosing their men, not the other way around. So please, stop this bullshit that body count doesn't matter, because it does. It shows that either you're an idiot that constantly makes the same mistakes, or you're someone who can't be satisfied with just one partner and is not suitable for a long-term, committed relationship.
Is like a beautiful model, and so that's why he's saying, oh, I thought she was going to be my trophy wife. But that's sort of what you said, how they treat you, is what I would say when he would say that to me. I'd be like, yeah, she might have slept with more people than you liked before you dated her, but since you guys have been together, she's been nothing but faithful and an amazing girlfriend to you. So how dare you say that?
I dare say it because, again, either you're an idiot that constantly makes the same mistakes, Or you're someone who can't be satisfied with just one partner, and your past behavior is a good indicator on what you might do in the future. We have seen this many times. For example, an alcoholic that has been sober for months or even years, then just the tiniest bit of nudge can send them back to the depths of alcoholism, back to their old ways. If we constantly see it on someone, there is a good chance that they would revert back to their bad behavior because it happened before. This is not a personal attack on these women, by the way. No, not at all. But let's use Miss Rhoades here as an example. In 2018, she publicly announced that she is officially retiring as an adult actress and made many comments and attended interviews that she confessed that she regrets entering the business in the first place. But what's this? As of January 2020, Miss Rhoades is now officially active again as a porn star.
Yeah, I mean, some men just can't get over the past and they can't stop thinking about who was there before them, and it bothers certain people. But I know a lot of men that are secure in themselves and they don't care about the past. They don't even ask about the past. Like, that's how you know it's a mature, strong guy, when they don't ask you about your...
Did you hear that, gentlemen? She just did exactly what I said earlier. This lady is now gaslighting. If a guy calls her out on her bad behavior, he's not confident, he's insecure. But if a guy is a mindless subservient, he is a strong, mature, independent man. Do you also see the manipulation she's pulling here, gentlemen? If a man has even an ounce of self-respect, they come after him, beat him down to submission until he's a good boy who keeps his head down and cater to her every whim.
Past in that
I
way.
think it's also not even about like having those issues. I think sometimes in a relationship where some guys just might get bored and they just want to bring something up from the past to use against you, or even just when they fight in general, like it could be over bringing the wrong cup of coffee for your significant other, and then that argument is just gonna downfall to, well, you've slept with so many people, you're a whore.
What? What is she even talking about here? A wrong cup of coffee and he will bring up your body count or your past mistakes in a relationship? What? I've never met a guy that does this, and I've met some incredibly huge dickheads, but none of them do this. I don't want to sound sexist here, but in my experience, women are the one that is always bringing up past mistakes in an argument, especially when they are losing the said argument.
You know, just because they want to use something against you because they're running out of things to say, or that's just how they feel at the time. Like, you know.
Again, in my personal experience, in an argument setting, women are always the one that is always bringing up past mistakes when they are running out of things to say.
Yeah.
So I think it's not fair to me. That sounds like not like a narcissistic person, but it's, you know, someone's history. I feel like before you date them, like you kind of know them as a person. And
No, she's dead wrong. Again, seriously, we don't truly know a person up until we are in a long-term relationship with them, either as a friend, family, or romantic partner. Let's be honest, people. We have different faces that we wear depending on the people we are around with. We behave differently with our acquaintances, our classmates, co-workers, families, friends, best friend, romantic partner, and even our own children. This lady is delusional if she seriously believed that we should truly know a person before being in a relationship with them. I mean, isn't that the point of starting a relationship? Going on dates, learning of each other's personalities, beliefs, quirks, to see if two people are compatible for long-term committed relationship. You don't learn these traits if you don't have a relationship. And this is where your past behavior comes into play. For example, someone had 5 romantic relationships over their lifetime, but 4 of those relationships ended because they cheated. What does that tell me? It tells me that there is a 4 out of 5 chance that this person will cheat on me too. That's an 80% probability that they will not be faithful to me. So why the hell would I want a relationship with that person?
you should already be willing to accept what they have to offer you. Like, you should never mid-relationship start to use something against them that's out of their control. I think that's really not fair.
What does she mean that it's not fair? And how exactly was it not her choice? Like I said before, far often than not, women choose their men, not the other way around. Unless, of course, you're the 6'3" millionaire Chad with the Ferrari. But in reality, most women like these look down on us, the average dudes. It was her choice to chase after Chad. It was her choice to have sex with 100 men. It was all on her. And it absolutely grosses me out that this lady is blaming men for her bad decisions. And I guarantee this, the real man that these ladies are looking for, the mature, strong men that they want that will love them to death, treating them like a queen, I know exactly where they are. In the friend zone. Most probably because these guys are not attractive or rich enough for these women, despite the fact that women like these have very little to offer other than their looks. Exactly like a trophy wife. Huh. Well, would you look at that?
What can happen is, obviously I've experienced this a ton because of my past.
I'm not exactly sure why Miss Rhoades here worded it that way. I'm not at all connected in the adult film industry, but I'm sure that there were discussions, waivers, and contracts that she had to sign before the scene is even acted upon. So I can't really see why she's trying to play the victim here.
Guys will be fine with it at the beginning. Then as those feelings start to develop, they start getting insecure and jealous the more in love with you they are. And then they start questioning, they start going and watching the stuff, and then they start questioning you about it, and they just get very insecure in themselves. And so I've even like had that happen with myself as well, where I'm super cool at the beginning of a relationship, then maybe something happens or just like those feelings develop, and then you sort of just become like, the love sometimes makes you act in a way that you wish that you didn't.
Seriously, gentlemen, let's listen to that again.
They start getting insecure and jealous. Insecure and jealous.
Jealous and insecure. Gaslighting. Again. If men even have an ounce of self-respect and call them out on their bad behavior, this is what we get. I don't want to sound really harsh here. After all, I am a fan of her work. But if my girlfriend's job is to get gangbanged by 5 guys multiple times a week and then come home bitching to me about her horrible workday, denying me sex because the pasta I cooked her is too salty, well, please don't blame me for kicking you out to the streets.
I've definitely been like that. I've been in relationships where I'm like, I don't know why I'm picking this fight today, but
Back to being
it's like, who is this girl?
Okay. Didn't they just chastise men for having an opinion on their body count? And yet here she is telling us that she starts an argument whenever she finds out that her boyfriend is talking to another woman. And I also have the feeling that she's the kind of woman that if her boyfriend even just whispers his ex's name in a casual conversation, she would lose her shit.
Back to being a trophy wife. I know we didn't intend for this topic to go on the route of past sexual partners, but do you guys think that I should, a lot of people tell me, oh, you'll never be married. Why would anyone want to date you? Do you think I should be excluded from ever being considered a trophy wife because of my past?
Well, based on the definition of a trophy wife, these 3 women fit that purpose perfectly. Other than their looks, they have very little to offer. But I'm sure there will be guys out there that is willing to simp for these girls and is willing to marry her. But when Chad calls her up again, she'll go running back to him, taking all her husband's money with her. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to Patson to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.